what woke me. My ex before that got murdered, bro. I lost my daughter. She got killed, bro. I've been through some, you know what I mean? I've been through some pain, but that pain, the only thing that is promised to make you change is pain. Like when I went to the penitentiary, yeah, I can't remember when the first time I got arrested. I've done so much like little back and forth, like little jail time and stuff. It's insane. You know, it's insane. The first time I got arrested, let me think. My homeboy stabbed this dude. We were having really, it was like turf war, you know, we were young. My homeboy got stabbed. And yeah, I think that was the first time I got arrested.
So what kind of things did you see when you went into jail at a young age?
Oh man, I've seen it all, bro. I've seen the fan motors. You know what I'm talking about? The fan motors. Whop! Somebody take it upside their head, crush half their skull in. I've seen I seen a dude cut a dude up, put him in his mattress just so he could have his meals, bro. The police came around to look in the cell. We're in ADSEG to look into the cell, and he's moving a piece of sheet that he cut onto his arm so he could act like, yeah, let him have my tray. For real. I seen that, man. First time I walked into Beto 1, all I heard was no means no, please don't, it hurts, stop. I said, take me to my cell. Big facts. I've seen it all in prison, bro. I'm in a chow hall, and we're this is a funny one. I'm in a chow hall and we're coming back. Well, you know, there's people in there that you know, they're trans or whatever, you know. Well, this guy, he's like, shut up. He told him, shut up, you know, more or less homo, you know. And homeboy said, what'd you say? And I was like, here we go. Well, homeboy stuck him. Wow. Knocked him out.
The trans?
And then no, the trans knocked out homeboy and then proceeded to flick his lip with something. And when he woke up, he told him, he's like, who's a homo now? I said, that's cold. That's so cold. And that was on the bowling alley back from the chow hall. You know what I'm saying? I've seen a lock in a sock. Wow. People getting busted in the head with a lock in a sock over mostly religion. You know what I mean? And that's bad to say, but it's for real, man. The penitentiaries in Texas, bro, they are 160 degrees in the summertime, bro. I had bumps all over my body, bro, that would just pop. It's so hot in there, you know what I mean? The conditions in the Texas penitentiaries are uncalled for, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember seeing this one TV show, and they showed inmates out in the heat. They had little tents, tent city.
Yeah.
Was it something? Were you guys out there like that?
Oh no. This is literally in the buildings, bro. This is in the buildings. They don't have ACs out here. You know what I mean? You're just in an oven, bro, cooking. For real.
Did y'all at least have fans, little fans in there?
Yeah. At some places they had the fans that they have up in the corner. I know in Dallas they had the swamp coolers, you know what I mean? But a swamp cooler just make it humid. So then you're humid and hot. It ain't what it is, you know what I mean? But I was in Seg. I got this scar right here from here to here. Yeah, man, I was in Seg and I got jumped and busted my wig open. Wow. Yeah, man. So when I got released like 5 days later, man. So when I got released, my eyes all hanging. It was horrible, dog. It was horrible. But you know, I also met some of the best people I've ever met in my life locked up. Some of the best artists I've ever seen, ice cold with that gun and that pen. You know what I mean? Smart people, like real smart. And the thing is we're just products of our environment. Unless you can change. Not just your environment, you got to change your heart. You know what I mean? And God's done that for me, bro. He said, I'll give you a new heart. And he took that heart of stone of mine, bro, and gave me a new heart, new spirit. And that's my best friend, bro. And ever since 5 years ago, my ex-fiancée died in the car with my unborn son, my stepson, and her. They died in a car crash. And I lost it, bro, and had a spiritual awakening. And I became best friends with God. Like, I talk to him, he talks to me. That's my ace, Boone Coon. That is my best friend. Like, I talk to him like I'm talking to you, bro. The spiritual world is realer than this 3D world to me, bro, because I close my eyes and I see through a veil. and I just see the spirituality all around me. So really, all my pain has really forged me to evolve, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it does. You know, you
Yeah.
see all this music that they're pumping out to the generation, the young generation. They're telling them to go catch hats, to go commit murders and stuff. You know, we don't have any positive role models out there.
Oh, I know it. So since we don't have that, we got to become that, brother. And you, my friend, I like what you're doing. I like what you're doing. It's what you're doing is it needs to be done. And I salute you for that, big dog. For real, for real.
Oh,
What you're
thank
doing
you.
is it's good business, bro. Keep it up, for real, for real.
I'm sorry to hear about the situation with your family, you losing your family. I'm sorry to hear that, but
Oh,
I'm glad you found God.
that's just what woke me. My ex before that got murdered, bro. I lost my daughter. She got killed, bro. I've been through some, you know what I mean? I've been through some pain, but that pain, the only thing that is promised to make you change is pain. Like say you're a little kid and you're playing on a playground and your parents say, don't do that, don't do that. You're going to keep doing that until you miss that monkey bar and you hurt your arm. Boom. Then you ain't going to do that no more. It's the pain that we go through that changes us into really a better person, bro, if that makes sense. And that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's how it happened for me, though.
Were there warning signs before you got arrested? Did you know that you were going down the wrong road?
Oh yeah, bro. I didn't care. Anybody could get it, bar none. I didn't care. I knew where I was going and I knew what time it was. I didn't care about the consequences or repercussions, or like I didn't have no conscience, bro. I didn't have no conscience. I didn't feel the pain for nobody. I didn't care. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna drop out, you're gonna get down, or you're gonna lay down. You know what I'm saying? Period. I'm gonna put that thing in your life, and this is what it is. You know, that ain't where it's at. I used to think that was cool. But like you said, I found that positive role model, which is, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Most High. If y'all give him a chance, bro, he will manifest in your life. And I promise you, if he can change me, he can change you. I promise. So just keep y'all's head up, man. And I love all of y'all, man. For real, for real, for real.
Amen to that.
Yeah, man. Yes, sir.
Did you get involved in gangs while you were in there?
I was gang banging before I went to prison. So I stayed flamed up. You know what I'm saying? I went to penitentiary and homeboy's like, whoa. Cause he's like, you can't do this. I stuck him in his mouth. Wow. I do what I want, bro. You know what I'm saying? I caught that fade. But ever since then, nobody really messed with me. But I didn't understand how segregated it was in there. I tried to make it a point to eat and like mess with everybody I could. I don't care if you were purple. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna buck the system, whether it's the law or the inmates. I'm bucking both systems because I work within my own mind. I don't work within anybody else's. You know what I mean? I rode with everybody. If you had respect for me, I have respect for you. You know.
You're in Texas, so it's way more segregated up there. I heard that you can't even talk to the other race.
Yeah, you can't. It's getting better now. You know what I mean? Some farms, yeah, you're right. You don't at all, and I think that's really very, very low vibrational, bro. It's very, very low vibrational because if you want to excel, bro, you have to leave that hate behind you. You know what I mean? You got to leave that hate alone. You know what I mean? Because that's gonna hold you back every time.
So, how important is respect in there?
How important is respect? It's love, loyalty, honor, and respect. That's the 4 things you go by. If you ain't got none of them, I feel sorry for you. You know what I'm saying? You gonna respect something by the end of the day. You know what I mean? Yeah, for sure.
Young people come in there and they're not used to the system. Where do you see them? A lot of people make mistakes at coming into the system.
Like nowadays, it's the young cats, bro. And my heart goes out to them because, bro, you got 16, 17, 18 years olds that are killers, bro. Killers for real. And they gonna get down with a quickness. And that's crazy because I've known grown men that won't do the type of stuff that these babies are doing. These are babies, you know what I'm saying? And they're quick to pull that pistol and pull that trigger, bro. And it's they need people like you and I, because who else they got to look up to, man? If they can mess with us and the tattoos on our face, you know what I'm saying? We're in it. You know what I'm saying? We've been there. You can tell, you know, by looking at me and you did. Yeah, they did some time, you know. What they don't respect is like howdy doody type guy trying to come up and say how he relates to him when he ain't ever been through the struggle, when he ain't ever walked through their streets, you know what I'm saying? But when you see somebody like us that's walked up and down the streets, that's lived the life that they have, that's, you know what I'm saying, been in the same spot, laid on that same cell mat, they come at you different. They respect you different. But I think you need to mold them in the right direction. You know what I mean? You don't clap for their, how do I say this? You build morale. You don't break it down. You know what I mean? I want to see them the best they can shining. I don't want to see them doing negative. You know what I'm saying? They need stuff like that. Hard to reach out to get a hold of them because they're so hard-headed and stubborn, bro. But I think that's all about to change. Hopefully.
So what kind of advice would you give to a young person coming into the system? How should they act? What things should they do different?
Stay silent, man. Stay silent. Peep your scene. There's more than what's going on than what you see. So you got 2 ears and 1 mouth. You need to listen twice more than you talk. Keep respect on your mind. Stay loyal to what you're about. Don't ever back down. And that's not me trying to get somebody out there for a fade. No, never back down, because that's self-respect. And if you don't respect yourself, they're not going to respect you. You know what I mean? That, and don't come back, bro. Don't come back. You're young. You grab life by the balls, man, and live it to the fullest, man, because you deserve it. You're good enough and you're worth it. You know what I mean?